Welcome back to Appalachian Dim Sum.
Where entertainment is our comfort food.
And this is going to be episode 51.
Yes.
Yeah. On the downside to 100.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I can't believe we record that many episodes already.
And still in the month of March, even though we had to split our recording sessions, this is still working on the Matrix.
That's right. That's right. It's
How far down the rabbit hole we can go?
Yeah, a little very far apparently.
We could go much further. Yeah. I think we said that before. We could probably just make a podcast just on the Matrix.
Yeah, there's a lot of media. I still haven't consumed like all the media that the Matrix has to offer, and you literally can't. And we'll get into that later. Yeah. But we've changed our little setup a little bit for video watchers.
Yeah. Trying to separate mics because I know we do get some feedback. I guess our first solution was maybe we were sitting too close together, so we'll see if that works.
We don't know.
We don't know either.
We're still trying to figure it out.
We've been sitting here for 45 minutes just trying to get both mics hooked back up, and it's
yeah,
we need staff.
That's what it is. We need some youngins who knows what they're doing.
Yep. But we are getting, this time will be our desserts. Are we still calling it that?
Yeah, we're still calling it desserts.
Yes.
Yeah.
Desserts is usually what things we're looking forward to. At times has been a trailer episode.
Right.
Will be kind of that this time. A little bit of both.
Yeah, I like the idea. Maybe I like the idea more than I like the actual end result of the idea. I think it was the last time we did desserts, we tried watching a Rotten Tomatoes compilation.
And found out that we were not interested in anything they were trying to promote. So.
That's rough. It kind of goes along with our ethos for the podcast in general is we kind of just want to bring the stuff we like.
Yeah.
I mean, every once in a while we'll talk about something that we don't like, but...
There's going to be some things that we're going to be like, nah, that was terrible.
Yeah.
But we're not seeking that out, and I think there's enough places if you just want to hear stuff get torn down.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any shortage of that out there.
Not at all.
Unfortunately, there's not a shortage of people making stuff that should be torn down. So.
That was one of the things I was surprised about when I was looking at the trailers for this month is I really didn't find a whole lot that seemed interesting.
It really seems like if you want to watch anything interesting anymore, that you just have to be a horror fan. And if you're not a horror fan, then you're just kind of screwed, unfortunately.
I think that was something back in October, November we noticed was it seemed like all the movies that were coming up that seemed interesting were some type of horror.
I mean, superhero stuff's been just beaten to the ground. Mm-hmm. Now the same people are beating sci-fi into the ground.
I think I've got 2 superhero things on this, so yeah.
And those very, very well may get torn down. I'm not sure which ones you're talking about.
We'll talk about it.
There's one positive coming, I think. I hope.
Hopefully.
Save us, Nick Cage.
All right. You want to go ahead and get into... let's get into what the dessert, because we usually do, but it's not only desserts are what we're looking forward to, stuff coming up, but we also try to have some sort of dessert.
If we can find a way to eat.
Yep. So
in the middle of this, then we always do.
So here we go. You haven't seen this yet?
Yeah. I've had a very interesting, kind of unnecessarily busy week, and didn't even start thinking about food for this one.
That tends to be an issue with us, is we don't think about stuff until the last minute.
Yeah, I need to run out and get 8 ingredients so I can make something.
Yeah, and that was the issue with this. We'll talk about it once I finally get this container open. Oh my goodness. There we go.
I see things jiggling in there. I'm not sure.
There we go.
Don't want this thing to launch.
So I made pods, like the little Matrix pods. We'll take pictures. They look disgusting.
They do.
I had an accident on the way here. They flipped upside down. I was happy to have paper towels in the car because there was more of the Jell-O in here. I got this idea maybe 3 days ago or 3 or 4 days ago at this point. And what I used is just peach Jell-O.
Okay.
And there's all sorts of this is a comedy of errors on my part. So what I did was I used a 3D pen to make the frame for the pod, and I used hot glue and baggies to make the bladder of the pod. Now, I didn't have enough filament for the pen, so like my plan was to make the structure and then like reinforce it. I made the structure, and I'm like, I don't have any more of this 3D pen stuff. So I was like, it's good. It's gonna be good enough. I went to like 4 different stores to try to find like a little figurine, because my idea was like just put like a little GI Joe in there, right?
I could have hooked you up with that.
Yeah, right. I couldn't find it. Like I went to Dollar Tree, Dollar General. I wasn't looking to spend like $10 for one.
Yeah.
Like I could go to Target and find one, but I didn't.
Star Wars aficionados would probably lose their stuff over this. I think the original run of those first figures that Star Wars came out with, like the Stormtrooper, Chewbacca, and all those guys, the guys that had like the little lightsaber built into their hand, are up in my daughter's isopod tank.
Oh, nice.
They're just sitting there as decorations. I'm not into
getting all gross.
Not really. They're just kind of watching. The isopods don't mess with them, but she puts like little pieces of fruit rind and stuff in there, and they just demolish anything biological, I guess. But those little figures just sit there and watch it all happen. And I'm sure somebody that collects those things would be like, no. I think we might be on our first risky territory on our food there. We got hot glue and plastic and some.
That's right. Well, it's like I said, the Jell-O, the embiotic fluid is just peach Jell-O. This was one of those things where I had an idea and I was like, it would amuse me to use chicken stock to make the Jell-O, but I didn't go that far because I was like it's a biological thing, and I don't know what embiotic fluid tastes like, but it's probably kind of like chicken. I don't know.
This is definitely looking like one of those things like your church haunted house where they make something and they're like, ooh, try this.
So what I ended up doing for the little people that's inside the pod is I used marzipan. So it's kind of sweet. It looks gross. I'll take pictures and we'll be right here.
We'll get you one more thing while we're doing, before we kind of get into our show. I just grabbed this because this is not gift giving season, and I was kind of afraid to like sit on these too much before they would disappear and like become collectibles. But I know you've been seeing Ninja Turtle stuff everywhere.
Awesome. Thank you.
Magic.
Hey, it's from the Magic, yeah.
Magic has been making Ninja Turtle stuff for whatever reason. I don't play Magic. But they've actually made playmats and other deck boxes and sleeves and things like that. And I saw that when we were playing at a tournament the other day, and I was like, "Oh, that's Ninja Turtles." And I asked him, "I was like, do you have a bunch of that?" He's like, "That's the only one of those I have." I was like, "I'll take that."
Thank you so much. That's awesome.
Don't play card games that much, but playmats are like great mouse pad work things.
Absolutely.
Even if you're doing modeling and stuff, you can use them for a variety of things.
Well, I really appreciate that. Those very, very, very
working
thoughtful.
with models, not like, hey, modeling.
Oh, yeah. That's the only kind I would be doing. Yeah, I've seen my algorithm has clocked me on the Magic the Gathering Ninja Turtles. I've seen a bunch of it.
I think if you mention it out loud, then
right.
Then YouTube and social media stuff just instantly. I get, there's an anime store that sells figures and stuff. That and Ninja Turtles Magic cards have been my commercial breaks, which I'm not complaining about that. If you're listening, computer overlords, I prefer that to here's a medicine that will kill you.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, thought I'd just grab that because that was I don't generally see Ninja Turtle stuff.
Yeah. When
we're in gaming stores, so
that's very cool.
Kind of cool that they're branching out into other things that just draw more people in. They got me buying Magic cards there for a while because they made Godzilla cards a while back. So it's an easy sell for me anyway.
Back in the early 2000s when the Ninja Turtles started to come back around and they had like a new show, and this was like the first thing they did after the 90s show and the Archie comics and all those. And there was a period of maybe like 5 or 6 years where it seemed like they went away. Yeah. And then they came back, and they've been back since. And during that first like toy run, I had bought like the series of the Ninja Turtle toys, and I was like, hey, they're probably not going to have a lot of these. I would like to, I'd like to have the whole collection of these.
Yeah.
It didn't last long. It wasn't long before I was like, oh, they're going to go insane with this. I'm not going to collect all of these. I'm very glad I stopped that.
I had to do that with the Dark Horse did during the, I guess that last run of the prequel trilogy of Star Wars stuff. They went into a series, comic series called Dark Times. It's supposed to be like the Darth Vader right after he became Darth Vader.
Okay.
And I'm like, yeah, go ahead and pull those for me at the local comic shop. And I went in the next time, and there was a stack of comics like that, and there was like a Star Wars Rebels, and there was all. It's like, I thought you wanted the Star Wars stuff, and I was like, no, just stop. I was like, I'll buy all these. You held them for me, that's fine, but no more. I don't think I ever completed the Dark Times one because it was just like, nah.
IDW is currently doing that with me with Ninja Turtles. I told it was there was a new series coming out,
I remember we looked at that one.
Yeah, and they had a couple of series. They had a couple of like mini series out, and I was like, yeah, it's like 3 different series. And I told the comic shop, just go ahead and just give me whatever IDW makes with Ninja Turtles. There's like 6 series now.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous, and comic prices are $5 a pop now.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I picked up some of the Godzilla comics thinking, oh, that'd be kind of cool to have those, and then you realize half of them are written terribly, have nothing to do with Godzilla. It's just some stupid little storyline, and they're like, oh, look, there's Godzilla.
Yeah.
And 2, it's the same thing. The price creep.
Yeah.
It's just like, nah.
I flipped through like it was like Godzilla versus Chicago or something because I was at the comic store. I saw it. I was like, oh, maybe I'll get this for Joel. And I flipped through it. I was like, where's Godzilla?
Yeah.
This is exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, no, it's basically what the King Kong movies have done here the last couple of times. They've made King Kong movies and they just use Godzilla as a marketing tool in the background. He might as well just be like carrying a sign that says, watch our movie.
Yeah. I think I made the comment to you at one point that I think it was the Ninja Turtle He-Man crossover. And I feel like the Ninja Turtles, like the whores of the toy world. They're like, anything. We'll do anything.
I've even seen it's crossed into like Godzilla stuff.
Yeah.
There was like some kind of hybrid. They had, each one was like a different, like.
It was like Raphael Mothra.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like, really? I don't think we needed that.
Right. But putting Ninja Turtles in something will get me to pay attention. I actually downloaded Raid Shadow Legends. I'm assuming you've seen that commercial at some point. It was this, for a while, it seemed like all the streamers and everything, that's what they were advertising, was Raid Shadow Legends. And they came out with some Ninja Turtles. And I would say it's probably like the best versions of the Turtles that I've seen. I love the designs. Downloaded Raid. Played it for like 2 days. I was like, this game is horrible.
Yeah. It's just like a insert your character here.
Yeah.
Just.
Yeah, and I felt like when I was trying to play it, like I didn't feel like there was a goal, and I'm sure there's a narrative and stuff if you really wanted to get into it. But I felt like the purpose of the game was to just click digital buttons.
Yeah.
But click here, you collected those. Click there, you collected those. Click here. Oh, well, you need more of those things. Click over here. It was tedious.
Give us your credit card and you can buy coins so you can get a better outfit.
My rule, I have a rule for mobile games, live service games, those kind of games, is I will play it, and I will enjoy it, and if I enjoy it and play it for a while, I will spend money. I will buy something. I'll buy a costume, or they all have like the like premium currency. I'll buy a pack of the premium currency to make draws, but I will never buy a pack of currency to make a draw to try to get a character.
Yeah.
So like with the Ninja Turtle one, I was looking at like what I would have to do in order to get these characters, and it was just, I was like, I don't see myself being able to do all this with the time I had left, because they had been out a little while. With the time that was left in the event, without spending money, and I was like, I'm not going to do that, so I'll just enjoy videos of those Ninja Turtles.
My last app type game was Plants vs. Zombies. So
that was a while ago.
I just don't play them.
Yeah.
I've watched a lot of people mess with them, and I'm like, nah, I can find something else to do.
I've been very critical of both live service games and phone-based games, because I say they it ends up being more like a job than something you play.
I guess what's turned me off on them too is just YouTube, other social media stuff too. That's the other ads I just get inundated with.
Yeah.
Little thing where the soldiers are moving back and forth and shooting at the big guys coming at you, and the little guy that he uses a sword to get a bigger sword, and he kills little demons here, but then he always attacks the demon. He doesn't
I
have
know
enough
exactly
power.
what you're talking about.
It's just
yeah.
like
he's like, "Wah, chicken, chicken."
then he gets knocked all the way back. It's kind of fun to like watch the 15-second commercial,
Yeah.
but I was like, if that's what that game is, I would be so bored with that after like an hour.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're gonna go eat some amniotic
Fluid? Yum, yum. And a marzipan man?
have to say I'm not super excited about that, but usually everything we do turns out to be a lot better.
Well, like I said, it's just peach Jell-O. I didn't do anything weird to it, even though I wanted to.
Except for the hot glue and the
Yeah,
plastic.
the hot glue in the plastic. I did think about this. I let the Jell-O cool down before I put it in the plastic, so
So it didn't
hopefully
melt.
no microplastics.
We've got so much. How much is supposed to be floating around in your system at this point? Like,
Oh, it's ridiculous.
it's supposed to be like a landfill of plastic in part of your brain. So I think one more shot's not going to get us.
That's what I'm going to blame on all the ums and what was that? What was that? It's the microplastics.
Yeah.
All right, well, we're going to go consume some more microplastics, and we'll be back to
Will
talk
be.
about Godzilla Minus Zero.
And more.
And we're back.
We've now eaten a Matrix pod.
With little marzipan people. What'd you think?
I think the initial Jell-O with little bits of grit was a little
You were
off-putting.
you were like, what is that?
I was like pulling it. I was like, is this something I'm supposed to be? I did not know, not familiar with the term, the marzipan.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's just almond. It's like really fine almond flour and powdered sugar, essentially.
kind of figured looking at it from outside it was maybe some kind of bread type thing inside, but yeah, the first bite was like a little sandy. But actually, once you dig down into where the little body was and get a scoop of that with the Jell-O, it's a really sweet dough,
Yeah.
and the Jell-O is good. So, despite the fact that it looked like something that came out of a surgery or was drained off during a surgery,
Yeah, it did not look appetizing. That's
It did
for
not.
sure. Which I guess kind of serves the purpose. It's supposed to be unsettling,
yes,
off-putting.
yes,
Man,
it achieved that.
it's
But actually, wasn't that bad. That'd be a good
like
good-
a Halloween thing, or
be
if
a
you had
good
like
gross,
a party.
gross out for somebody that had a little weaker stomach or something.
Yeah,
Just sit there and be like, nah.
Like, yeah. But I was saying how I kind of wish I had more time to do it a little bit better. I kind of rushed through the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was running out of materials and whatnot, but that seems to be kind of the pace we go. Everything's last minute. There's hardly any forethought. I'm fine with that.
The
It's
thought
it's
crossed
amusing.
my mind this morning is like, maybe we could just order a pizza. That was about as much thought as I had time to put
Yeah.
into it. So
Well, we do have both the coffee service coming up, and then we also have leftovers, and we haven't even discussed if we're going to do anything for leftovers.
that's true.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
But let's go ahead and get into our desserts.
Yeah, desserts are, yeah, I think we mentioned that at the opening, just stuff we're looking forward to, and we've got a interesting list of some stuff. Takes a lot of filtering, unfortunately.
This was a diamonds in the rough situation, I think.
Yeah.
Watched a lot of trailers, and I was just like, okay, it might be something I might watch some Sunday afternoon or something, but it's not something I'm actively looking forward to.
The movie industry has made it to my factor that comes into whether I go see it or not is, am I going to spend $15 to go do this?
Yeah. Well, for me, it's not the $15, yes, but also the time. Like,
Well, yeah.
for you to go to the theater to see a movie, you're attaching at least the length of the movie on top of the movie for travel.
I
I
put gas in the van yesterday at $3.49 a gallon,
Yeah,
so there's that. On top of
that's on top of that. Yeah, so
driving into Roanoke, so again, I'm probably at least $20 cost, not including time or anything else involved. Or
and if you go, you're probably going to stop and get something to eat. So I mean, it turns into just watching a movie to being like an ordeal.
yeah,
Yeah.
$2.99, $3.99. Even if you kept it under $5, make it $4.95. So I feel better about it. I wouldn't think twice about it, honestly. But $15 is a different story.
Yeah, it's quite, especially if someone else goes with you. I mean,
Yeah.
Okay, so $30 for us to watch a movie? Yeah, come on.
If I take somebody with me and that turns into like, well, let's go and get something to eat, then you drop $80 eating, and all of a sudden you spend $120, and it's like, wow, I got a decent hamburger at a chain restaurant and saw a movie that I'll forget in 3 days. That was a good spending, good expensive money.
I kind of feel the same way about the theater industry that I feel about the Fandango at home, the Vudu digital stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like to rent on Vudu because you give them $4 and okay, so you rented it. Well, what if I now want to buy it? Okay, so then it's an additional however much. Yeah. And like with the theaters, it would be nice if, let's say, when you go to a theater, you get the ticket, and then it's like, okay, well, hold on to your ticket because that will give you $4 off of a digital movie when it comes out.
At $15, give me the digital download. That's part of my ticket.
That would be amazing, but that would really cut. Like, they would never do that. It would cut into profits way too much. I just want a little incentive.
I won't get deep into the weeds of it.
Profits.
We were looking at cable stuff and noticed that our cable provider was offering new member people like $60 a month, some kind of deal like that. We were paying almost twice that, and so we called them and like, can we just have that?
Well, that's just for new people.
Just for new people. It's like, we've been with you for this much time, and I'd say my wife went back and forth with them, got them down to, I think, like 80 or something, so they conceded some of that. But again, that's including the ticket with the digital download with the ticket, to me, be completely reasonable, because they have so much of that kind of crap built into everything that they're not losing any money.
I've said before that my perspective, which I agree with you, that was my first thought when I was thinking about it. I was like, I would like it if you go in, you buy a movie ticket, and you get a digital download with it. That'd be awesome. And if you want like extras or like ultra high definition, then you go buy the Blu-ray. Perfect. I think that's a great solution. But then I thought, well, they wouldn't do that because corporatism. I don't care. I don't care about the profits of Warner Brothers.
No.
I don't own stock in Warner Brothers. I care about my experience as a consumer.
Yeah.
So if there's a petition that says, hey, give us a digital copy of the movie if we go to the theater, I'll sign it.
When Aliens, Badlands, Predator, whatever that was called, was in the theater, that didn't make or break depending on it being in the theater. It was paid for by that 24-ounce cup with a big bendy straw that you paid $20 for it when you're at Disney to walk around all day, so you can get it refilled with syrup that costs them fractions of a penny to make their drink. That's how you paid for that movie. And for your, I don't even want to know what a ticket price to like Walt Disney World is right now.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
I'm sure it's over $100. And I used to going to like Busch Gardens, and amusement park for us was like $20 when I was a teenager and I could drive.
One-day ticket prices for 2026 is from $119 to $209 for adults.
Yeah.
Prices fluctuating based on specific park and date.
And if you're lucky, you might be able to get in 4 rides in a day
if
you schedule it. If you schedule it
all
right.
All the lines.
So okay. So that's more per ride than it was for me to go to Busch Gardens and have the park to myself on a weekday, all day when I was a teenager. So yeah, give me the free download with the ticket. If you actually want to get people back in the movie theater, that would get me back there. If I had access to it and I could come back home and show it to another person or watch it again myself instantly, I'd pay $15.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, speaking of what you'll pay any amount to watch.
One I'll pay $15 for. This will probably become a running bit. Right now, my countdown clock says this is 237 days, 13 hours, 8 minutes, and 15 seconds. It comes out on November the 6th. I'm not getting into the speculation about what it's going to be, what other monster will be, and what the storyline is. It's the only thing I'm truly looking forward to this year.
Okay.
So, but it's not till November because that's the anniversary date of the first Godzilla, and that's when they always do their releases for any of their major Toho movies. They always do them in November. And I think we actually get it here this time. Usually it's a Japanese release in November, and then we'll see it maybe end of December if we're lucky. Sometimes it's into the first of the next year, just depending on which film you're talking about.
Right.
But I think I understood it to be that this is a simultaneous worldwide release this year.
So, do you know why it's called -0? I mean, it was -1, and then the next one would be 0, but...
I think it's the time frame of it. I have not looked into that. I've always just assumed that it's... There's even some newer things they're calling like events with Godzilla, like a G-Day.
Okay.
Like the whole Monarch series is based around, we'll talk about that at a later show, the day that he attacked in 2014, or that he fought Muto in San Francisco and caused all that destruction.
Okay.
That's like a point in time that they measure things by now.
I kind of like that because the whole idea Godzilla, the God part of it, and the way we have our calendars based on when Christ was born.
Yeah.
So like Godzilla is such an event in this world that splits history.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
But I mean, he was, spoiler alert, reduced to a little chunk of heart floating down to the bottom of the ocean in -1. I think this is counting backwards up to probably the timeline of the 1954 movie. So
Okay.
I think that's what that's all about. And it may not be. It might be these are like 1954 one was just the base Godzilla. He's the first one. These were the things that predated him. So I really haven't read what he intended by those names. I just think it sounds cool.
It does. It's an awesome name, but I'm just really curious. I'm assuming they're going to make another one.
I love I'm not a tattoo guy.
Oh, yeah.
I could get that as a tattoo. The little G symbol.
Yeah, that is cool.
Not sure where I would put it. Right there.
Right on the forehead.
Yeah, that's my first one. No trailer involved with that.
Yeah.
There'll be plenty of that coming out later.
We'll see some trailers.
But I'm pretty sure anytime we do desserts from now until then, I'm going to give you an update
Yeah. Well,
on days and hours and minutes.
I'd do the same if they ever actually made any headway with the Last Ronin film. Have you heard about this at all?
No.
There's a story in Ninja Turtles.
I know
that the Last Ronin is like in the future.
Yeah.
And it's one of the turtles. He's the only one left, and they were supposedly going to be making a live action version of the Last Ronin. And the thing that kind of got the fandom up in a tizzy recently is the actress who played April O'Neil in the very first Ninja Turtle film, the live action film, was going to reprise her role. And as of right now, the film is shelved. And everybody's like, no, that would have been so good.
Well, that would undo all of the other little changes that they've made since then.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it would have been one of those things where, the idea of the canon of the films, it would be like, well, there was the first one, and then it's the Last Ronin. It's like the second one and the third one didn't really happen.
Maybe a couple more years, Hollywood will stop its war on redheads.
We'll see. We'll see.
They've come for Man-at-Arms and starting to get personal.
Have you ever seen that collage where it shows all the characters, the redhead, and then who's playing them?
No.
That's pretty funny.
Those are the kind of things that don't make me laugh. Those are the kind of things that tick me off. I don't need reminders of how much they hate me.
Well, I guess moving away from Hollywood for the next one is going to be Heavens. What was it? Heavens and The Boy and His Robot, right?
This is such a weird thing. One of those rabbit holes that you get down into. Let me find the right thing here. Heavens is like this guy's... I say this guy's named Rich Ho Kok Tai. I think everybody calls him Rich Ho.
Okay.
I think he's produced like music. He's done stuff on film, short films, all kinds of stuff. I think Heavens might be his company.
Oh.
So I have a website that is Heavens Entertainment, and it's the universe of entertainment, and it's kind of centered on promoting this movie, but it also has stuff about contacting their company and stuff about him and his history and all this stuff.
Have they made, what other stuff have they made?
This is his first film.
Oh, okay.
But this film, is supposed to release in Singapore on March the 14th of this year at a Cinequest Film Festival.
Okay.
It was made in 2024. It took them as a collaboration, and they've worked on it for like 13 years prior to that. They filmed it with the same actors over 10 years. So you actually have...
So like the actor's age.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like I think
there was another film that was like that.
So it's this boy and his fighter robot called Little Dragon, and they're fighting against some sort of invasion. I think the trailer says something about Mars. Get back to the page here. This is one of those things that's maybe he's trying to sort of teach a lesson to Hollywood. If you go to the Heavens Entertainment website, it has a picture of the robot with a little city in the background, and underneath it says "Good, Clean, Fun."
Oh, okay. Excellent.
And I'm like, there's an idea. Yeah. And they're promoting it as a family-friendly family movie. Really like a Gundam style thing. Do we have the trailer?
Yep, we sure do. Let's take a look at it.
Let's take a look at the trailer. We've tried this before. It was a little bit of all over the place because it was trailers we didn't want to see. We're still going to try to pause it every 20 to 30 seconds or so, just because we don't really understand YouTube.
Right. We'll see how this goes. We need audio.
Oop, let me turn that back.
That's another part of this is not getting the copyright strike. All right, let's try this. Nope. All right, we're gonna. Audio issue fixed.
We hope.
We hope. Here we go. Water supply.
Obviously going to be subtitled. Yeah, I think Mars or aliens from Mars or something coming to Earth for water supply. It's a pretty basic story.
It's pretty standard.
I think it's already made like tours to like some film festivals in Asia and stuff, and
I'd be surprised if it didn't get dubbed in some way.
It's kind of one of those ones that I'd be fine just reading this one, but I would like to see a dub too.
Yeah. Well, if they're going to want to release it in like America widespread, like through theaters and stuff, they're going to have to.
Yeah, especially if you're going to market it to try to be a family movie, you're not going to be able to
have little kids in there trying to read.
I don't even know what the reading age in the country is at this point. It's probably like 13.
I don't know. I feel pretty illiterate at times, so. It looks like an anime.
Yeah, definitely going to be a CGI heavy.
Yeah. I kind of feel like this is this director's version of like Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon.
I did read somewhere that they did do a lot of on-site filming in like New Zealand or something, so they do have some practical stuff mixed in with it.
Okay.
Again, 13 years in the making. I guess you've got time to kind of take your time doing your shots and working them out a little bit.
Yeah.
And that was in English.
That was English.
Being produced in Singapore too, I think that's a pretty heavy English-speaking area to begin with.
Okay.
So may just be this like they do cuts in different languages or something.
Maybe. It looks good.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I haven't looked up on this is any kind of like budgetary stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But this looks as good as anything recent. Disney, Marvel, anybody has done.
CG's really weird at this point because I mean the CG looks amazing, but it looks like a video game.
Yeah.
But I think that might be more a stylistic thing than the technological thing.
Yeah, I think you were probably more of a fan of it at the time. Those Final Fantasy, animated CG movies. Mm-hmm. They did a lot of parts of that kind of remind me of some of that, where you have those sort of distant, multiple soldiers and stuff walking around, but you can tell that's probably generated.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's it's already won like Family Film Awards in Asia, and this is Rich Ho's debut as a director. So kind of interesting that your first.
You get 13 years to make your first film. Come on.
I think it's because he's I think he's involved. It might just sort of be like a I don't know if Elon Musk is the right name. Like he's a guy in the industry that's involved in a lot of other things, and this is just he's like I want to make a movie for myself now. What's the guy that made the was it Mad God that we talked about? It's been shows ago.
Mm-hmm.
He was like one of the old Lucasfilm Star Wars.
Yeah, Phil Tippett.
Phil Tippett, yeah.
Yep.
Kind of almost feels like this is something like that where it's.
But without the prestigious career behind him to.
Well, I mean, this guy apparently has a long career and is a known quantity over there.
Okay.
So, but I think a lot of it's in like music and says he's been involved in multiple films and short films. So they have a whole page on it says about our mastermind is how it's referred to on their website. 20 years in the film and music industry, 30 different film productions. So I guess maybe he's been more of a sound and effects kind of guy.
Okay.
This is just him sort of jumping in and making one for himself. But they said they did collaborations with a lot of Japanese studios and stuff too. So
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. One of those things, I don't know how you would hear about things like this because this has not popped up in any of the trailers that I've slogged my way through in the last couple months. I think we stumbled on it looking at mech stuff.
That's the only reason we came up on it. We were looking up
ago.
like Robot Jocks and Evangelion, and we were looking at different mech properties, and we're like, there's not many mech movies, and we looked up mech movies, and this came up.
It was just running on like IMDb when you were over there, and I was kind of like,
what was that?
What was that? So I'm looking forward to that. Probably as much as anything else coming this year outside of like the Godzilla movie. I've been scouting pretty far down the road, and I'm not seeing much else. But I don't have a release date for this yet. I don't understand that whole process. If they still have to get a distributor, or they're going to run it through some festivals here first, or something.
You said it was made in 2024.
24.
It's possible they're still in post production, right? I mean, it's very CG heavy.
It said its initial release is 2004.
Oh, 2024.
Yeah, I'm sorry, 2024. Initial release date was July 27, 2024. It's already got like nods from all these different like little Asian film festivals and things. I guess it just hasn't got a broader distribution. I don't have any idea the relationship of Singapore and things with studios and politics and all that. What if that has anything to do with any of it? I know Singapore's one of the places that China wants to reclaim, I think, at some point.
Apparently, it was recently acquired by Radical Entertainment for North America release in early 2026.
Yeah, that might be talking about that. It's gonna screen at a festival this month.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Literally tomorrow.
So
okay, excellent.
Maybe that will release like a press packet with it and stuff, and it'll get into circulation and get in some trailers, and maybe we'll get it this summer. I would hope they'd be targeting it for a summer movie, because if it's a good family movie and that's their hope to get there, that's the time to do it. And if you do that in February or do that in November, those are kind of dead times for movies.
Well, I know the movie industry really wants to get that summer blockbuster back, and this could be it.
Even if it's not a Marvel level blockbuster, just something that's gets a word of mouth thing, and a lot of parents take their kids to or something.
Yeah,
I'll be there watching it because it looks really good.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything where it's saying how it's going to be released, so it could just go to streaming. We'll see.
If it comes to Prime, it stinks that you won't be able to see it on a big screen. That's the only thing. I think
Yeah, this would be good on a big screen. It looks like it would be anyway.
Yeah, might be worth tracking down an IMAX or something if it gets there.
Yeah.
Or maybe it'll be a Fathom event. We can pay more for it.
Right.
That'd be great.
I'm pretty sure it would be a Fathom event. I've gone to see like the Indian films.
Yeah.
And that, if I recall correctly, that was a Fathom event.
I just want a DVD release of RRR.
Yeah. I think that was the one I saw.
Yeah.
RRR.
I think Netflix is hoarding it at the moment, and
that might have been it.
We saw it through Netflix, but I'm sure it had a theater release. Awesome movie. Kind of like this, where it's just not afraid to go there with special effects, and if it threw CGI, I think they had like CGI tigers and stuff in RRR.
Right.
It was obvious that it was CG, but it did not bother me because it was just a cool movie. It was a fun movie.
Well, I think that's one of the differences between the current special effects industry in America and overseas, is like the Indian films like this. They're not necessarily going for like one-to-one realism. They have like a style, it's stylistic, and they're just kind of making what they can with what they have.
They're like, we need a tiger. It's like,
yeah,
y'all go make a tiger. Okay.
And the tiger will fly over helicopters that's exploding. Here in the West, it seems like we want to make everything as realistic as possible, but they're trying to churn these things out so quickly, you end up with something that's lower quality because they don't give them the time to refine it.
Or even if the character itself looks good, it doesn't come across good because all of the backgrounds are all computer generated as well, and they didn't spend time on those, and it's all purple and just doesn't look good. And
so anyway,
that's
moving on. This looks good.
Yeah, that's my first of just a couple entries into looking forward to.
This next film, I don't expect there to be very much realistic CGI in it. Scary Movie 6. Are you at all a fan of the Scary Movie series?
I've watched the first couple, and those kind of things wear pretty thin.
Mm-hmm.
Don't bother me. It's just they don't entertain me that much.
Right.
And when it's just, hey, let's do another like sarcastic version of the character from this movie. It just, I don't get much out of that. I've seen the first couple, and they had funny scenes, and they had scenes too where I'm like, well, I'm glad I didn't bring my kids to this. They're definitely not those.
They are Wayans brother movies. Well,
yeah.
Apparently only the first couple where the Wayans brothers were involved, and then the studio took it away from them.
This is them coming back, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's primarily the reason why anybody's really interested, is because like 3, 4, maybe 4 and 5, quality went way down.
Yeah.
And hopefully this is a return to form for them.
They're stirring up their own interest with the trailer.
Absolutely. Let's go ahead and get into it.
Yes. I saw that pop up with the Jason mask. I was like, oh, is there some other Jason movie? I was like, oh, no.
Yep.
No, it's just a scary movie. Yeah.
Megan?
Every guy from basically every horror movie in the last 25 years on a subway together.
Well, they have a lot of material they have to cover.
And that's true.
Oh, there's our copyright strike.
And that's pretty much got them the probably the viewership that they needed right there. So I think they put that out intentionally to lead with because they knew it would push buttons on people, and it did.
Well, it's also the idea of comedy not pulling punches is something that people want to support.
I kind of get the feeling that like without Naked Gun happening and being successful, that this would not have seen the light of day.
I agree.
And it was just like, wow, people went to go see that. It's like people in Hollywood have got so disconnected from stuff that I think they were surprised that Naked Gun actually worked.
I was surprised Naked Gun actually worked.
I was surprised because I don't expect anything good from anything that comes out hardly anymore. And
as much as I liked Liam Neeson, when I saw the trailer, I was like, that looks ridiculous. Come on. But I
think they surprised themselves, and I guess that's the instant response you get in Hollywood is we got a good response. We made profit on this. What else can we do?
Yeah.
So they started scrounging, and this is where they went.
Well, there aren't a whole lot of parody movies that are really made anymore. We'll talk about that here in a minute. Keep going. I like that a lot of the original actors are back.
Yeah. All right, so what is this reference to? The blonde lady.
Oh, goodness. I don't think I've seen the film.
That's the only one of the references on the other stuff. I saw, like, there's a reference in here to Smile, and you saw, like, the heart eyes, and the, what was the movie with the guy that was, like, a miner? That was like another Valentine's Day or Thanksgiving Day horror movie. I forget which one that was. The guy had, like, a big pickaxe.
Okay, Halloween. See, I haven't seen any of the newer Halloween films.
Oh, is this supposed to be, like,
Jamie Lee Curtis? Yeah.
Okay. Makes sense.
Yep.
I really want to, but I'm a Republican now, so I'm supposed to be racist. White people are racist anyway. Here, look at this.
I like her. The guy's
That's pretty good.
Oh. Yeah, this is Sinners.
Of course.
Do some half gay shit. Watch us half gay.
That's the scenes where you don't take your kids.
Don't take kids. Yeah, don't.
There's weapons.
Yeah. I mean, you could almost go into this film with like a checklist.
Yeah.
They got this. They got this. They got this.
This is
Long Legs.
Long Legs, yeah.
Yep.
The Terrifier guy.
Yeah. Jeez, I hadn't seen this trailer. Okay.
I saw that one the last time I watched it.
Okay.
I guess that's a.
Oh, they
maybe
actually
that's an
says
inside.
every line will be crossed. Okay. they're being an equal opportunity offender.
Like they were just trying to get several in one character in one scene there.
Yeah.
I like pork rinds. Am I supposed to be offended by that?
No, I think it looks fun. I expect it to do well. I think with these kind of things, generally speaking, I don't like it when there's too much time in between sequels.
Yeah.
Like the time between Indiana Jones 3 and 4 was obscene.
Oh, yeah.
At that point, just don't make any more.
Yeah.
But when it comes to things like parody films, it kind of makes sense to have the time. Like with the Scary Movie 1 or 3 through 5, really. They kind of packed those in so close together. There wasn't enough stuff for them to... Like, it almost became self-referential.
Yeah, and even if there was enough content there, if you come out with one of those too frequently, you really do just... It's just white noise. It's kind of wears out any novelty that you might get out of it. And again, not seeing anything like this for a couple of years will probably benefit them. I can't imagine that they're going to be running on a huge budget there, so they probably one of those things where they'll make a lot more money than some of the big studio movies because they just won't have as much money tied up in it.
And that is a lesson that Hollywood needs to really learn. Is it's about making a profit on what you spend, not spending more to try to get more money.
Yeah.
And it looks like Scary Movie 5 came out in 2013.
Yeah. It's a decade plus on... you could probably do one a little bit more frequently than that, but probably not a whole lot more, and not be in danger of wearing it out. But
I think a decade is, for these kind of films, is good.
Yeah.
One thing I wanted to mention was... about parodies, thinking of like Spaceballs. Have you heard they're going to be making another Spaceballs?
I saw something. Isn't it just like the word scrolling trailer or something? I think that's all I've seen. I don't know if they've done
I think that's
anything.
all they've shown.
Yeah.
But like with Spaceballs specifically, when the prequels came out, like in the 2000s, early 2000s, they should have made a prequel Spaceballs at that point. I kind of feel like the ship sailed on that. I mean, they're going to be making fun of Star Wars, and Star Wars is dead at this point.
Yeah.
So maybe The Mandalorian and Grogu will revive it.
That'll probably be mostly what it is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It'll just, yeah.
Because, I mean, that basically became like the Luke Yoda thing in the first Spaceball, so...
Oh goodness, I could see them making a little baby yogurt. Yeah, they're gonna do it.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the next. I probably won't see this in the theater, but I'll definitely watch it.
Oh, scary movie now.
If it comes up across streaming,
if it's free on something that I have, then yeah.
It'll be on Netflix or Amazon or something.
Or not free, but if it's on something I'm already paying for, yes. If not, then I'll just be like, yeah, I'm sure that was funny.
That's modern consumer math. Well, I'm not paying for it now, so it's free.
Sometimes it works out.
Sometimes.
I'll get to that later too.
All right, I've seen nothing of Normal.
Yeah.
Bob Odenkirk.
Yeah. Let me click to that.
I think it's great that Bob Odenkirk and I forget her name. She played in
Lena Headey.
Yeah, Lena Headey. Yeah, Better Call Saul. I think it's great that they've.
Oh no! In Better Call Saul, that's Rita. Oh goodness gosh, you're talking about the Pluribus girl. Yeah, Lena Headey is in this Normal.
Rhea Seehorn.
Yeah.
I think it's great that Bob Odenkirk and Rhea Seehorn have found careers after Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul.
It's kind of one of those things that might be trading into let's don't do too much too close together, or you're going to wear it out. Because I just watched.
Well, Leia Headey's the one that played in Game of Thrones and Terminator. Okay.
The Sarah Connor Chronicles.
Yeah.
It's hard to say fast. But I just watched Nobody 2 on streaming here. I guess that was a couple months ago that came out. I think they've already greenlit a third one of those.
Still feel like that should have been a series, but
you
get what you get.
The second one was fun, but it was like, okay, I get it. It's just over the top, old people fighting, and I don't know if this is going to be the exact same thing. If it is, it's like I said, it's kind of trading into maybe wearing that premise out a little bit. He's not as convincing as a John Wick because Bob Odenkirk is 5'9". And he's probably about 150, 160 pounds.
And how old is he at this point?
60. I've got it here somewhere. He is 63.
63. Okay.
Yeah. And you got Christopher Lloyd that was in the last one, and I don't know what kind of health stuff he has on. Did you see the second one?
No.
It was really weird with his distribution of lines. Like maybe he was having some trouble saying them or delivering them or something.
Really?
It was like very short, very spread out line delivery. Wasn't a big part of the movie in either one, but he was just in there. It kind of seemed like maybe they were sort of easing him into a role, which, I mean, good Lord, that man's got to be 90.
Yeah.
So I guess if I'm 90 and somebody's still paying me to be in movies, I'll be like,
sure.
What am I supposed to say?
Well, it's kind of like the last few films that Bruce Willis was in. You got the feeling that he didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's check out the trailer for
This
Normal.
comes out on April the 17th.
Okay.
Why are you here?
I used to be a regular sheriff. I walked through life with my head held high. I kind of stopped trusting my instincts.
Death comes for us all, don't it, old man?
You've been listening to my internal monologue, haven't you? I took a
Kind of weird that they don't feature Lena Headey. Like, you would not know that was her. Didn't even see her
that,
face.
That was okay.
Yeah.
She's kind of a chameleon.
People seem friendly enough. Whoa, 16.8 million. Where the hell did this town get that kind of money?
Community really came together on that one.
Yeah, I would say.
I hit it there for a second. So I think the premise of this thing is like there's this little town in Minnesota that has an extraordinarily high amount of money in the bank.
Right.
So you get to it here in the trailer too. I think it even is going to tie into like the Yakuza somehow or another being involved in Minnesota. I don't know if they're laundering money or running leering centers or
Yeah, that's it's timely.
We could not go there, I guess. But another face that popped up there, you won't see it if you're listening, it was Henry Winkler. It's like a mayor or something. Talking about another guy that's been around forever.
Yeah.
I thought he was old when he did the Water Boy coming
Right.
back from Happy Days, and he's still out there making movies. But
Yeah. How old is he? Yeah, he's 80. Wow. Good on him.
I would have thought he'd be older than that, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, it's from the producers of John Wick and Nobody. And that's one of those things. Producers are always weird because it's like, well, you're just like the money person, right?
Yeah.
You're the person who, like, maybe puts people in contact with each other. So, the producer has this like style that they're going for, but it's a different director, a different writer.
It's kind of one of those things you just kind of wonder: is this something that Bob Odenkirk is pushing to do, or is it like something his agents are pushing him to do, or something he's in a contract to do? Because he had a heart attack in the first Nobody. He had
The actor.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, Bob, he had an actual heart attack
Oh,
filming the first one.
Okay.
And has been like on a, I think if you try to search like his weight and stuff, even Google will tell you that it's like he's really focusing on his health and it doesn't have like a weight listed. I'm like, okay. It's like he's trying to hide his weight. But yeah, it's, you can roll on with the trailer.
Hey, guys, you keeping tabs on me?
Yes, sir.
This is a hell of an armory.
I can tell you that local sheriff's departments are not armed like that.
Yeah, it's a good one, Stroke. What do you think of our little town? It's charming.
Many local sheriffs might be, but
Oh shit.
Well, just from what I've seen so far, this interests me more than Nobody too.
I think
So-
the premise of this looks like maybe it's not going to be just him like fist fighting groups of 8 people.
Right.
I think it's more like he's just an old sheriff and little. I mean, it's a pretty simple premise for a story. There's a bank there in Minnesota that's got a ton
bunch
of
of money and-
hiding a bunch of money for a criminal organization, and somebody comes to rob it.
Yeah.
And
Easy enough. Sometimes the simple premises are the best.
You don't play this right, you're gonna have a massacre in there. I say we play the hand that's been dealt to all of us, and maybe you get to keep the rest of your goddamn fingers.
that escalated quickly.
Yeah.
Life's here normal.
Okay, yeah, so someone got beheaded in a tea room,
And
it
it-
looked like.
Looks like it's, with that little line that he just gave to, is kind of throwing in that trope of he's in a little small town sheriff's office, but he used to be something somewhere else. He was a hardcore LAPD guy or a SWAT guy or something,
The community.
or CIA.
What is wrong with you people?
Yeah, it looks like a good time. This would be fun in the theater.
Yeah.
For a long time, I've said that theater films need to be bombastic.
Nothing to see here.
And I like the premise of this better than Nobody, really, that it's, here's your logo,
Your
Yakuza.
Sting. Okay.
So they've got like things going on all over the world.
Yeah.
But I like the premise of it being more like he used to be a badass guy and having a little bit more gunplay and a little bit less mixed martial arts out of a 5'9", 63-year-old.
The only thing that concerns me is one of the things that I've been critical of John Wick about is the world building. Like, I really like the first John Wick, and it was kind of a small story. It took place
Yeah.
in a small area, and it was just this man's trying to get revenge.
It
And,
was just him against basically this one little gang of guys.
right.
It wasn't like
And then it's
the
like
entire world.
there's this international, worldwide organization of ninja assassins or gun fu assassins or
The
whatever.
thing that always killed me with that is like in John Wick when they would go to like the phone operator boards when they were like upping the money and stuff on John Wick.
Yeah.
There were like 30 employees there. I'm like, how did they have anything to do the other 364 days of the year? But it's kind of cool to it's fun to make that like here's this little secret world thing, but they really did overdo that in John Wick.
That's pretty much my feeling is, I didn't feel like that's what I was signing up for as an audience member by watching John Wick and going into John Wick 2. It seemed like it took too much of a turn. And if this does well, I could see there being sequels to where it's
What was the thing with Arnold at the border, where he was the sheriff?
I know
It's
what you're
got
talking
like,
about.
it's got like Johnny.
I have not seen
It
it.
was The Last Stand, wasn't it? It had like Johnny Knoxville and oh my gosh, the Hispanic dude that's in so many like cop and crime movies. Edgar, I can't remember what his name is. Um, but it was like he was kind of the only guy that was the true, used to be badass kind of guy. Everybody else in the town were all like people that lived in a small town. Like Johnny Knoxville was like a guy that lived out in had a farm and was just basically like had a bunch of guns and was he's like a gun nut that was out at his place like just blowing up stuff. And
It was The Last Stand.
The Last Stand. That was like trying to stop like a cartel guy that had made a break out of prison and was running for the border and was going to have to come through his town to get there, and they contacted him to stop him. And that was actually an enjoyable movie, as dumb as some of the premise of it was, because all of a sudden everybody in the town didn't become like super CIA
Right.
combat agents. They were all just like people that were trying to help Arnold stop this thing. And if they kind of do that with it's not nobody normal,
Yeah.
that would be fun. If everybody in the town all of a sudden knows kung fu and knows how to shoot sniper rifles from 3 miles away and all that.
Yeah, I'm fine if the premise is like it's this one guy and he's special, and yeah, that's
Yeah.
yeah. Speaking of Schwarzenegger, have you seen what he's currently talking about?
Yeah.
King Conan, returning to Predator,
Yeah.
and another Commando film.
Yep.
Like, man, come on.
I think in the same breath I heard somebody talking about that. They're talking about Stallone was going to do a prequel to Rambo, but he's just directing it. They've cast a guy to play a younger version of him.
I mean, Arnold is 78.
Yeah. He was supposed to be like a king, right?
See, I could get behind King Conan. I could get behind that idea. He's
Old guy.
It's after the Conan films. He's this old guy. He's this king, and there's some young uppity other barbarian that comes in to take his stuff.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Yeah, if he plays just an old king, I'm up for that story. Anything that he's doing in Predator, I do not care about. Predator just marked itself off of my list in its last entry. So,
I mean, at this point, for the longest time, it was only during one of these episodes that you reminded me that Dutch survives. For decades, I had it in my head that Dutch died at the end of Predator, and you're like, no, he survived. And I was like, what? And I watched the trailer, or watched the end scene. I was like, oh my goodness, he does survive. That just completely slipped my mind.
I can't remember, did the Killer of Killers thing, did they try to suggest it, or was it there? Was he supposed to be one of the bodies that was frozen in the thing?
Yeah, that was the end of Killer of Killers.
Yeah.
Yeah, where it shows like different Predator protagonists.
The only way that would work if they're doing that would be they're just going to CGI him in and he's just going to voice it or something.
Yeah.
But again, I don't. They burned their credibility on that one. So Predator's a dead franchise. The first two movies and Alien versus Predator are on my shelf, and I'll watch them when I want to. And everything after that is whatever.
Recently saw a collage of all the Alien movies and properties and everything. And I was just like, just the first two. That's good.
I'll save that for appetizers next time. We did get back into watching some of the other stuff. I'll talk more about that, but it's kind of like some of the other stuff we've talked about, and you go back and see it now. Some of it seems a lot better than you remember it as, because everything else since then has denigrated it so much that you go back and it's like, wow, this is actually kind of good.
That's going to be in the next episode when we talk about Matrix adjacent films. That's one of my comments. It was like, I'll say it now. If I had watched those films when they came out, I would have been like, this kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Watching it now, I'm like, hey, this is pretty good.
I think
Reign of Fire has Christian Bale and Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah.
When that came out, people were very critical of it. It didn't do very well. People thought it was stupid. But, I mean, going back and watching it today,
I watch it all the time. Yeah. I love the idea of parachuting down with the dragons. And the dragons were done well. And honestly, that's the kind of thing. It's almost like a Godzilla movie. If you do some of that well enough for me, I'll watch it. And I thought it was a pretty good story too. But yeah, I think when we get to our next thing, I might be exact polar opposite of you on opinions, but we'll get to that when we get to that.
All right, let's go to the next trailer, and this is going to be Lanterns.
This will be for you to comment on.
Okay.
This just gets into this territory of stuff I just do not care about anymore.
Well,
I watched this trailer and watched it, and I was just like,
to preface it, I've never been a DC guy.
Yeah.
Like, I always thought, like, Batman's cool because he's dark. He's a Dark Knight. I enjoy that. I like the idea of an unpowered human doing something extraordinary. That narratively, that's interesting. Superman, as a character, he's kind of, and I know this is like, it's a boring perspective to have on the internet, but I think Superman's kind of a boring character. I understand why people think he's interesting. I understand why he's inspirational, but
that's pretty much why they have One Punch Man in Japan.
Yeah,
because it's kind of exploring what do you do with a guy who can defeat everybody.
Right. And that's one of the reasons I liked Man of Steel from Zack Snyder, is because I felt like they were trying to explore the weight of what the responsibility of being able to do that can do to somebody.
Yeah.
Too bad we didn't get to see more. But
if I go back to watch anything superhero related at this point, it's going back and watching the DC animated stuff.
Oh,
the Green Lantern stuff I've watched.
Yeah.
Some of the older ones of those are actually pretty good. And I've never read a Green Lantern comic. I don't care anything about the character, but those were an interesting enough story that they kept my attention. So
I don't have any of this in any of our discussions this month, but I've been getting more into Watchmen, because every couple of months someone will post something about Watchmen, and I'll be like, oh, I gotta watch that again. And I watched the movie, and I went to the library and checked out the graphic novel.
Yeah.
Because I think I've told you before. I'm like, I don't want to pay that. It's like $30. I'm like, I don't want to pay $30 for it. Read the graphic novel. I was like, okay, and I went and bought it. And I kind of wanted to see more Watchmen stuff. Tried the show. I'm gonna try it again. I didn't care for like the first 3 episodes.
I didn't have enough. Wasn't paying enough attention to it, but I know HBO did it, and I think it was I think it was a pretty big departure from stuff.
Right. I didn't feel like there was very much connective tissue. It felt like if in the world of the Watchmen TV show, the Watchmen was a film franchise, that would have made sense.
I think it was made kind of around that time, like when Marvel was making wouldn't it be cool if Antifa were superheroes shows, like the girl terrorist thing and the Captain America.
Oh, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Whatever that stuff was. I think that was in that same era. Mm-hmm. I always got the impression it was kind of the same thing, that they were kind of like, Antifa's cool.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't care.
Well, it is a good possibility that I will push myself to watch it at some point. But I was looking for other Watchmen stuff, and there was a DC animated Watchmen movie, and there was like part 1 and part 2. And I was like, oh, let's check this out. And I watched the trailers for both part 1 and part 2, and I'm like, this is redundant. It's just literally an animated version.
It's the main movie
of the movie, and of course the movie is a version of the graphic novel. But when I was watching the trailers, I'm like, this just makes, like, literally, this trailer makes me want to watch the Zack Snyder film. Yeah. That's all it's doing.
Yeah.
Because it seemed like it's kind of like there was a Guardians of the Galaxy video game. Came out around the time of the Guardians of the Galaxy films, and it's a narrative story, kind of action heavy. But anyway, all of the actors in it and all the characters look like knockoff versions of the movie characters.
Okay.
So as far as I understand it, Guardians of the Galaxy isn't always like the exact same characters. It's a team that rotates.
Yeah. Yeah.
But in the video game, they wanted to benefit from the popularity of the film, so they just use those characters. And so, like, Star-Lord didn't really sound like Chris Pratt, but you could tell he was kind of trying to be Star-Lord. So it felt generic.
Yeah.
So anyway, back to Lanterns. I've never been a fan of Green Lantern. again,
I saw
the
this,
character's like,
trailer.
oh, space cops, okay.
I saw this trailer when I was scanning across a compilation of trailers.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is a movie about lanterns?
Lanterns, yeah.
It's like it took me that 15 or 20 seconds of this trailer to even figure out that this was like a superhero thing. I was like, wow,
Right.
is this like something about ghosts or something?
And I think that's probably the reason I'm intrigued by it.
Yeah.
All right, let's watch the trailer.
With all due respect, I've been training for what, 2 months? And I haven't even worn the ring yet.
What did this guy play in?
Which guy?
The white guy. Him.
Super 8.
Okay.
All kinds of stuff.
He's one of those actors. I'm like, hey, I know him. You
He's
know?
usually like a government, like CIA,
Yeah.
federal type guy and stuff.
But there's something specific I'm thinking of. Let's see.
I don't really. He doesn't come off to me as like a Hal Jordan from at least the DC things that I've seen.
Is that the character he's playing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Honestly, like Tom Cruise would be a better one than this. Is Kyle? Is this Kyle something?
Kyle. Hang on a sec. Kyle Chandler.
Yeah.
His wife's name is Catherine. That's awesome. Catherine and Kyle.
Yeah.
Oh, this is where I know him from. My wife watched Friday Night Lights.
Okay.
So he has been in my peripheral vision for hours and hours and hours.
He's been in your peripheral vision if you've watched movies because he's been in a ton of stuff. He was the dad that was the deputy in Super 8, the Steven Spielberg thing with the aliens, and
Oh, he was in Godzilla King of the Monsters.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's right. Characters in those movies to me are like,
Oh, because he was in King Kong. All right.
yeah, potty mouth. Apparently, we don't edit trailers anymore for content.
Well, I pulled these off of YouTube, so.
That I don't know. The Green Lantern's oath is to protect people.
Did you ever see the Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern film?
I've seen parts of it, and it's.
I'm exactly the same. I've never watched the whole thing.
I think it's because like I've fallen asleep every time I've tried to.
Yeah.
And it's kind of interesting that like there's a little clip down there that shows the outfit behind him.
Yeah.
And it's green.
Oh
there,
yeah, people.
But in the thing, it wasn't green.
Yeah, people have been complaining about the fact that the Green Lantern
Isn't green.
outfit is brown. Yeah. I'm interested to see what they're like, how they show the powers, because again, I kind of think the Green Lantern powers are kind of corny. Oh, your willpower creates constructs. Okay.
I think the only time I've seen that in quote unquote live action film was the last Superman movie with Nathan Fillion.
Yeah.
Making little fists pop up, and sometimes they had a finger sticking up. And
Yeah, if you had not mentioned Green Lanterns in this at all and just shown this, I mean, it kind of reminds me of, like, stylistically of Chronicle. Do you remember that film?
oh yeah, that was a good movie.
Oh, okay. He says he's Hal Jordan. Yeah, I'm down. One of the squirrel.
A movie or a series though?
Huh. Yeah. What is Lanterns?
Seems like there's a lot going on there for that to be just a movie. If he's gonna,
Yes. Yeah. It's a series.
makes more sense.
Yeah.
Introducing a new guy, having to tell him who you are, train him to be a lantern, find the bad guy, do things to the bad guy.
And at this point, I'm always looking forward to something to justify the amount of money I spend on HBO Max. So I'll give it a go.
Finding more of the reasons why I spend money on less and less and less is this is where it goes to stuff like this. It might be good. It'd be one of those things that if I had the service and watched it and it was a well written thing, I could enjoy it. But I have no interest in anything with Green Lantern. That doesn't make me excited for yay. There's something coming out about an old Hal Jordan because it means nothing to me.
Well, as someone who is not a fan of Green Lanterns at all, I'm interested because it doesn't immediately evoke them.
Yeah, if it's not going to be, if it's
Like this could have been anything. This didn't have to be Green Lanterns at all.
kind of said that about
That's
a
what
lot
it
of
looks
other
like.
things. Is I like to see things in these worlds without you having to give me a 35-minute backstory flashback. It's like just everybody knows who the Green Lantern is, because kind of knows what the basis for the power is. Tell me a good story.
Yeah.
So it might work. Who knows? It'd be nice for somebody to make things that people enjoy.
I'm sure I'll report back at some point.
Probably what HBO series are usually about 10.
Yeah.
10
Which
episodes.
is an aside, but I hate how TV shows are like 8 to 12 episodes now. I miss 24 episode seasons. Come on.
24 episodes, and they'd be off for like the summertime, and they come back with another
Yep,
24.
Another 24. But I tell you what, trying to go back and watch some of these older seasons, it's daunting. Like I've tried to go back and watch like The Next Generation a couple times, because I watched The Next Generation, I watched some of Deep Space Nine and a little bit of Voyager, and all of those I remember very fondly, and I would like to watch all of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a lot of show, man.
I think I told you back early when we started this that we were doing Sons of Anarchy, and that stretched over several months of us doing it, and we'd already been watching it for like a month or two. You literally just can't sit down and do but so much of that at a time, or at least I can't. And
There's some anime that I just won't touch.
there's anime I'll never
Yeah.
see because there's too
No.
many episodes.
Yeah. Like Dragon Ball sounds cool.
I made as
I've always thought it sounded cool.
big of
but
effort as
too
I've ever
much.
made to get through Bleach.
Bleach, yeah.
And
yeah.
I just literally was like a little like robot guy flying at Godzilla that bounced off his armor. I made a little chink.
Right.
I watched like 3 seasons of it, and I was like, wow, there's like 35 more seasons. And I was like, there's no way I can do this.
I've heard people do things like watch things at higher speed rates and whatnot, and I'm like, that's at that point you're just consuming. You're not enjoying it. You're just getting through it. So.
I think the biggest thing with stuff like Bleach, and I think it's the way in a lot of anime, is that people have gone through and parceled out the episodes that if you just want to follow the story, you can just watch these episodes. But you can do that with these probably. There's a series that I did just watch, which again I'm going to save for appetizers, that you literally, there were 10, I can't remember if it's 10 or 12 episodes. 4 was what you needed.
See that?
The rest of it was all just filler.
I remember when I first started getting into anime back in the 90s, like I learned about the OVAs. And for the longest time, what I thought an OVA was they took the series and they chopped it down to be like a film. And some of them are that. That's what it seems like. And honestly, that there might be a market for that. You take these series that are like 8 to 12 episodes, and you're like, you know what? Here's 2 hours. This is what happened.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be mad about that. All right, so our next is Lee Cronin's The Mummy.
Got my curiosity because I was mostly like, who's Lee Cronin?
Yeah. Should I know him?
You
Should we know him?
Evil Dead Rise.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Hole in the Ground, 2019.
Never seen that.
Ghost Train, 2013. Haven't seen that. And he's making Evil Dead Burn.
Oh.
So,
that Evil Dead, and I know we'll talk about this another point, but Evil Dead Rise was one of those films where I was going into it, I was expecting to dislike it, but I was there to try to give it an opportunity. Very happy. Very happy.
I need to watch it again because I think I was going into it too expecting it to be just something that I didn't really want to watch or didn't want to enjoy. And
yeah, I did not. Yeah,
I did not
want to enjoy it. That's a good way to put it.
I need to give it a second chance because I remember it was very violent, and I just really don't remember much else than that. It just did not stick with me for some reason.
Going in, I was kind of considering Evil Dead Rise to be a sequel to the Evil Dead remake. That was kind of my perspective. Like it's it's a different franchise, sort of, and it's like you have the Ashley Williams Evil Dead, and then you have the other Evil Dead. The other Evil Dead is the gritty, gory, uncomfortable Evil Dead.
This,
well, I'll tell you, it's I'm not a huge fan of the Universal, even though I've watched a bunch of Dracula stuff. I'm not a huge fan of the Universal monsters idea, where it's like, well, these are some monsters from back in the 40s, so that's why we're making this. And I wasn't much interested, but you telling me it's Lee Cronin, I'm like, hey.
I don't think it's going to play into to that world. It really is like a premise of
Right, they're not trying to make a universe, right?
Yeah. The basic premise of this thing, you'll see it in the trailer, is a girl disappears in the desert and comes back 8 years later, and she's something else.
And she hasn't aged.
Jack Rayner. It's not a name that doesn't always ring a bell with me, but he is the guy who gets sacrificed in Midsummer.
Yeah, yeah.
He's in that.
The guy in the bear suit.
Yeah, yeah. Always
Such a
looks
good
like
movie. That's one of those movies that I want to have other people watch, but I won't recommend.
He almost looks like a young Seth Rogen.
Okay.
There's something about that dude's face when you see him. It's like, why do I know that guy?
Right.
And it's like, he was Seth Rogen back when he was funny.
I want to know if this actress actually has eyes that are that far apart. Yes. The answer is yes. Natalie Grace. She has those wide set eyes.
Yeah.
I could see that being something they digitally enhance.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
But we've said this before, that I think if you want to find much of anything new to even try, that you almost have to look at horror.
Yeah.
And the trailer on this one actually was looking like it's at least a interesting premise.
Let's see if it'll load. There you go.
No. No. You never ever finished.
Hello?
He definitely looks like Seth Rogen.
She's alive.
Just that on vacation, the kid disappears. And
Oh.
it's a Blumhouse.
Blumhouse, yeah, it's what they're one of the studios I'll watch just because. Was that a producer again? From the producer?
Yeah,
that
I
brought
think
you?
there must have been 30 people involved in weapons. Every movie that's come out in the last year has been from somebody that worked on weapons.
That's what you do, is you just get a producer credit in something and let everybody know. Oh, man. This guy is... When we were talking before about, like, you know, who's Lee Cronin, you think that sometimes directors get self-important, but I'm down for it. Put his name on something and I'll watch it.
Yeah. He's definitely not afraid to go there, it doesn't look like.
Okay. So I wonder if are they in America? Are they going to claim that there's like pyramids in America?
I almost want to say, especially with the cast, they're all kind of Hispanic looking.
Okay.
I almost wonder if it's not like a Mexico, South America.
I can see
thing.
that. Like Incan. Yeah.
Definitely a lot of forests. A little bit too many to be ancient Egypt.
Well, this is unsettling. Oh, yeah.
Almost kind of starting to feel bad for Jack Rayner. They're making this guy see some awful things.
Yeah. Sorry. First started the trailer, I was like, why even make it a mummy film? Because it seemed like so... Yeah, it was like, it's like disjointed from what the mummy idea is, but they definitely brought in a lot of...
Yeah, it could easily be
Visuals.
just like a typical kid disappears in the forest and gets some ancient Native American spirit or whatever. But I don't know exactly where it's supposed to take place. You assume Mummy would be Egypt, Middle East, but it does look like it's over here.
Well, have you heard about I think it was like in the Grand Canyon, how there are... People say there are ruins in the Grand Canyon. Have you heard
It
about
almost
this?
looks like where they're at the very beginning of the trailer, where they're standing there. It almost looks like. Have you been to the canyon?
No, I've never been, but
There's
that's
one-
what I was saying. I
if
thought
you
they were
come-
at the Grand Canyon.
I think is it the North Rim. One of them you come to, and it's like you're driving through the desert, and it's like shipping. There's the canyon.
Mhm.
The other way you come, you're basically following the canyon as it develops for like hundreds of miles. So that by the time you see it beside you the whole way, I think that's coming out of like Arizona or out of New Mexico, Arizona, coming from Texas that way. So by the time you get to like where the main lodge and all that stuff is at the Grand Canyon, you've seen the canyon for like a day and a half, and you're tired. You're tired
Nice.
of seeing a canyon. But that part where they look like they lose the girl kind of looks like there's lots of overlooks and stuff there
Yeah.
that you just kind of stop at, and it's not super as majestic portions of the canyon, but it's still part of Is that the Colorado River that comes down and cuts all that? I think it is.
I don't know.
It's a snake that comes down out of Yellowstone. I'm pretty sure it's Colorado that cut the Grand Canyon. But, yeah, it'd be interesting to explore an idea that's actually based on something, some discovery or just some lore of there being
Yeah,
ancient ruins in the canyon or something.
really the only thing I've seen over in that area is oh goodness, what is it called? The Badlands.
Yeah.
And when we were going through there, at one point we stopped and we were just kind of like looking at just the horizon, and we were near a cliff's edge, and you look to the left and it's just to the horizon. You look to the right and it's just to the horizon. And I was like, what would you, as a settler, you come up on this with a wagon.
Yeah.
What do you do? And the Grand Canyon is even
You build a town, that's what you
yeah,
do.
right. It's even more. It's like you come up on that, and you're just like, what? Yeah. You build a town, and then people who grow up in that town look on the other side of the canyon and go, I want to go there.
You turn around to your wagon train and you're like, we're here.
Right.
I thought we were going to shut up.
Yeah. That's it. That looks good. That looks really good, actually. Thank you for including that. I'm surprised at how good that looks.
April 17th on that one too.
Okay.
That might be the same week as normal. It is. They're both April 17th releases. So if you're gonna go see a movie that weekend, you might have to flip a coin.
I have a friend who's really into films. He's a longtime internet friend. We play games together and stuff. And he goes with like his brother and some of his friends, and like every week he goes and sees like 2 movies back to back. He like does double feature. I'm like, man, I can't spend that much time in a theater. If it was more comfortable, maybe.
Yeah, I was gonna say if it was like the one I was just at in Indianapolis, where you had comfortable seating and people that work there that actually cared about being there, I could go there. It would justify the trip there more to go see 2 movies at once and driving into Roanoke and driving back. If you had that much time, go catch an afternoon film, go grab something to eat, come back, catch an evening show, and then come home.
Yeah, we went and saw Alien Romulus at the RPX.
Yeah.
And that's a good 30, 45 minute drive from here.
Yeah.
And yeah, if there was one point where if I wanted to see a film, I was driving to the RPX, and I'm like, again, I don't feel like spending half my day just going to go see a film. But I think that might be the play. Go in the morning, see an early show, go do something else.
Maybe over the next course of the next year, I may be fleeing Virginia anyway, as our state
Right.
is slowly or very quickly destroyed. So when I land, I might be taking into account where the nearest movie theater is before we relocate.
Somewhere near an IMAX.
Walking distance to one would be amazing.
Right. Go to Florida. They got them there.
Yeah.
All right.
Go to Florida, I think, has become the
go-to?
battle cry. for
Everybody's
the-
going to Florida. Yeah.
Sure.
They'll need to build more like land mass on top. They'll be like Dubai.
Yeah.
We dumped a bunch of sand here. It's going to get taken away next year.
We'll just fill in the Gulf of America.
Yeah, fill it in. All right. So have you watched this trailer?
Yes.
All right. So the next trailer is going to be Spider-Noir.
As what I was mentioning earlier, it's like there is a superhero thing that I might actually watch. And probably, not because I care so much about this world, but just the production of this interests me. Where I think it says it there at the bottom that it's you can watch it in 2 ways: in authentic black and white, or in true hue full color.
Whatever that is.
So whatever that means.
Have you watched any films where it's like, I'm thinking Mad Max specifically, where they release the film and then they release the black and chrome version?
You mean just like a black and white?
Yeah, they called it black and chrome, but yeah, just black
like
and white.
just Godzilla -1.
Yeah.
We actually went back to the theater to see that, and then
Well, that's right.
then
Yeah.
I bought copies of it as well. So, but
Yeah,
think
it
that's
has to
probably
be
the only-
a very special piece of media for me to be like, I'm going to watch it again just because it's in a different color format.
I was kind of thinking I'll just watch this in black and white when it's
Yeah.
it's May.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember if it was March or May, but we'll actually be able to see this because we do Prime. So
Yeah, I think you're probably missing out on something if you don't watch it in black and white, because I think the vision was for it to be in black and white.
it's the film noir style.
Yeah.
Definitely from the trailer, and that's done best in black and white, I think. So.
And initially, my knee-jerk reaction when I heard they were making a live-action Spider-Noir, because everybody knows, everybody who isn't a fan of the comics and Spider-Noir from the comics, we probably know them from the Spider-Verse films.
Okay.
Right? The animated films with Miles Morales. And that Nicolas Cage
Was he in the
voices
first
him.
one?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
I probably didn't pay enough attention. I saw the first one, and that's all
Right.
I've seen. But
the one with the female Doc Ock, right?
I don't know.
It's been a while. Okay. But anyway, he
I don't
voiced
care.
Spider-Noir in that, and he did a great job. And then when they announced it was live action, I was like, I don't know. Nick Cage is kind of getting up there in age.
Yeah.
But it looks good. Let's take a look at the trailer.
The beauty of that is you can just put a mask on anybody and let him jump around, and then just come back and be like, that's like
That was him.
That's like 1950s movie making there.
Right.
You already know how it ends.
Definitely 20s, 30s era.
Yeah. That's one of the things that's kind of interesting when you think about the like multiverse idea. Like, so in this world, is it just perpetually the 20s? Like, is this just the style of the world, or is this in the past? Or I don't know. They probably don't go into it. What is the character's name? He's not Peter Parker, right?
Oh, I have no idea. That's probably why I would enjoy this, is because I know absolutely nothing about it. And I
See,
don't
it's kind of how I am with Lanterns. I'm like, I don't know anything about it, so. Yeah, I doubt that's Nick Cage. Well, that probably was.
It's a remarkably diverse 1920s.
That's an alternate world.
Yeah.
What are you thinking about over there?
I have an existential crisis, if I'm honest.
Like a nerve, huh?
Black and white kind of makes Nick Cage look a little old.
Yeah. Well, they say it's black and white's good because it shows more detail. That's good.
Again, I don't know this world at all. What's the no power comes no responsibility? Then how can he fly around like a spider if he doesn't have any power?
Who? This guy?
Yeah,
He has power.
that's the line that like they kind of is like their big selling line. With no power comes no responsibility. So what's
He
his?
got bit by a spider, though.
Yeah, so he had no power before that.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's what I say. He
I'm
got
not
power,
gonna-
so he has responsibility.
I'm not gonna think too much about that one. We'll watch it.
And apparently Spider-Noir is a version of Peter Parker, but he's a 1920s detective, so Peter Parker in name only, really.
Oh.
Nah, they should have named him something else. Should have been somebody else.
Yeah,
But I'll definitely watch that, yeah.
I'll watch it, and probably a week later won't be able to tell you anything
Anything
that
that
happened in
happened.
it. It'll be like, oh yeah, that was neat.
Well, Nick Cage is going to be entertaining, and watching Spider-Man zip around on his webs is always fun, so.
enjoy Nick Cage stuff. I've really just kind of become numb to superhero stuff. It's really hard to find something that's unique that you enjoy, because it's just, I don't know. Along with it will come everybody that's all these superhero experts that we will hear constantly complaining, this wasn't right, or this was this, and this was that, and it should have done more of this, and I'm like, okay, whatever.
I've ruined things for myself because I'm a fan of them. So sometimes, like with Spider-Noir, going into this and not really knowing about the character, not really knowing the background or anything like that, all you know is like, hey, it's a 1920s Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Going in without that previous knowledge, you don't nitpick it.
Well,
And sometimes
I
that's the best
I
way
had
to
that
enjoy
discussion
something.
with our family when we were watching some of those later Alien stuff, of how really big that was for us growing up. How much of, that was the first really cool thing that we've ever really got exposed to. It was as an adult thing. It was violent and scary, and it was kind of their, not like a badge of honor, but you weren't watching little kid shows anymore, and it was a thing that we were all really into. And you watch it get destroyed by some people, you do feel like you're owed something, or
Yeah.
or that you have a right to nitpick it. And I don't know.
He-Man's a good example of that. Like, people coming into He-Man now, they're going to watch the film. They're probably going to be like, hey, that was fun. But people who were fans back in the 80s, they'll just
need to make a whole new set of cartoons and change all the characters in that, too. So.
Well,
I'm sure they
definitely, that's definitely what I think Hollywood needs to do moving forward is they need to start finding new properties.
Yeah.
Because everything is just they're nostalgia farming.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's the end of our videos that we're going to watch for desserts. The next thing is yours, but we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with what is this?
Oh, Chinatown.
Chinatown. There you go. All right, we'll be right back. So where is this Chinatown?
So we're coming up on, it'll be an interesting weekend because as a business, it's usually just me and my wife. We'll bring along Audra. I've drug you along a few times to closer by shows, but we're actually going to Chicago and Kansas City in the same weekend. It's the first time we've ever tried splitting that, and we'll see.
Good luck.
We'll go find out how that works.
Yeah.
But I'm getting the Chicago trip because I'm not sending my wife to Chicago. She's actually going to be in a booth in Kansas City next to people that I know. So
there you go.
That's kind of a nice bonus there. At some point, I'm going to figure out how to get you to come to the C2E2 show with me because I stay in a hotel that is right around the corner from their Chinatown, and I'm looking forward to that more than any of the things that we just looked at. Maybe not Godzilla minus zero, but the rest of it.
Right.
The two things I pulled up are the two always stops. The thing on top is the Snack Oasis, and that is like a little tiny shop right next to the hotel that has all those. I think last time I brought back Oreos that were like berry flavored. They were like a Chinese thing. And they always have like some other kind of like Lay's things that are almost like Pringles, and they've got all sorts of snacks that sometimes I don't really know what they were. I brought back sometime that was like it was some kind of like bean, like dried bean, that was coated in like a soy sauce and sugar, and it was good. But it's one of those things when you're 50 plus or minus, you don't eat too many of those. But right around the corner from that, there's a hot pot place that we've been to. That one of those things I'm still kind of working my way through, figuring out how to do those right. Because you actually get like a broth at your table, and they bring you raw materials out, and you throw them in, and you cook them.
We have one locally.
I need to go practice.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
But the main one is the Triple Crown, and that's the menu on the bottom.
Okay.
And you can see, I don't think you can see there, it's dim sum.
Yeah.
And that's a section that I could crop off on the menu. It's like front and back, and you literally, on your menu, you just check the one that you want from the picture, or put like a number of how many of them you want, and they bring you like trays, those little steamed, what are those things, bamboo trays?
Right.
They bring you stacks of them of just whatever you do. And
Talk about a hard decision.
Oh, no. I had my wife last time make notes, and I need to make sure it's a reminder to myself to get those off her phone and let me have them of what we tried and what we really liked, because there's some of the ones that are like kind of that gooey rice paper stuff, and there's some that are dough, and some of the dim sum is not always like little dumpling things too. You actually can get like chicken feet and stuff like that, and you could literally spend the better part of a day there, or you could definitely make multiple trips and just get a checklist and just keep working your way around the menu. So that'll be a first night that we're there. I do that every time that we go.
Looking at this is really making me want to go to like the hibachi grill.
Yeah. The
or
steam
K-pot. That's another one.
Just those basic steamed pork buns that they do, where they have a little bit of barbecue and that really like white doughy stuff. Those are amazing there. We always try some different stuff there, but if you walk down the street from there, there's 10 million like little souvenir shops, so you can go in and you can find. It's kind of, we don't do much shopping there, but it's fun to walk through and see the knockoff Legos and knockoff Pops and knockoff even like the remint things that It'd be like a $25 thing here, and they'll have it for like $5, and you like look at the figure, and it looked like it was like hand painted by a child, probably because it was. It's fun to kind of shop through those little places, and then as you go, there's little tea places and dessert places with like boba tea and ice cream, and it really is probably one of the nicest Chinatowns I've ever been in. So that's on my looking forward to list. There's not a trailer for that. I could probably film one.
Yeah, when you go, you should film a little something, take some pictures. Yeah.
Well, here I am at Chinatown. It'd be a picture at the end of me just laying somewhere, like holding my stomach. It's like, call 911 or dial 911 and just wait. If I tell you to dial that last one, please do it.
Well, that's great. I might send you with a shopping list because there's some. I've looked for some things here locally that I just can't find.
The snack stuff,
yeah,
like with the different like Kit Kats and all those kind of like candy bar things. They're everywhere. There, plenty of that kind of stuff. There's teas and like there's even places with like all like the little roots for treating different things, which I'm not about to try that because I know nothing about any of that. But some of those things you walk by and there's literally like little bins and there's like all these different like little pieces of plant and roots that are all just sitting there drying, and I'd love to actually go explore some of that with somebody that knew what they were doing.
Right.
But I'm gonna get that on our mission list. If we don't go there for like C2E2 sometime, we just need to like take our show there
on the road.
Just go film an episode up there one weekend.
Appalachian dim sum on the road.
Go eat, come back and film. Maybe film while we eat. I'm sure they'd love that.
I wouldn't mind a field trip to go eat.
This little section of Chicago is nice because the convention center, I forget what it's called, is right at the end of the street. It's a straight shot down to it. It's the McCormick Center, I think is what it's called.
Okay.
You literally just come out, get in an Uber, come down to the hotel, walk around the corner to the hotel, and I think the Chinatown is probably sort of self-policed. It's always nice and clean, and you're never really bothered by anybody there. Sometimes you'll see elements of the other stuff just outside of it, like if you walk up the street back towards the rest of town.
That's in most cities. You get outside of the area where they want tourists to go, it kind of the attention goes away. They stop paying it. Local authorities stop paying attention. Yeah. The McCormick Place Convention Center. That's a nice convention center, man.
Well, I mean, C2E2 is the same people that run New York Comic Con.
Ah, okay.
I don't think that's
Big boys.
I don't think that's the same people that do the San Diego. I think those are two different groups. And I pulled up their list and scrolled through their stuff. They got all sorts of older celebrities from TV shows and voice actors and all that stuff. And the novelty of that, unless it's somebody I'm a huge fan of, and there's not very many people alive that I'm still a huge fan of. Those things don't mean anything to me. I've had voice actors and people like come up and buy stuff at our booth before, and multiple times not even realize like who they were.
Right.
And my wife's like, "Wasn't that so and so?" I'm like, "I don't know." Merle.
I imagine it's a weird thing for
Merle from The Walking Dead.
There you go.
The guy with the mohawk from the Cobra Kai series came by and like I was actually looking at cards and it took me a minute and I'm like, why do I know this guy? I was like, oh, this is Cobra Kai guy.
Okay. Yeah, I imagine it's weird being a celebrity because there's probably a period of time where you want to be noticed, and then you're noticed, and then from then on you don't want to be noticed.
I think there's groups of them that are just actors that could probably honestly care less about the whole
celebrity.
Well, about the whole pop culture collectible stuff and all that, but there's some that are actually into those fandoms and stuff like that too.
Actors that actually are into the like geek culture.
Yeah, or even if like Lou Ferrigno is notorious for, he did the Hulk. That's kind of his main thing. He's a big steampunk guy, and we know people that like that hand make leather steampunk stuff, and they said that like he comes to the booth like either after the show is closed or sometimes way early before it opens, and like they've custom made things for him and stuff.
That's awesome.
So it's people have got their hobbies just like we do.
Yeah,
and there's some that are just
actors are people too.
And there's like Mark Hamill that just shows up and charges
$400.
$900, so you
Yeah.
can buy a chance at a picture of him out of a lottery bag or something.
Remember at one point hearing a story about John Bernthal, the guy who played Punisher.
Yeah.
When he got the part, he went to a comic store and was like, he was getting the books for the Punisher to do like some reading, and the guy behind the comic store counter there was like, "I know who you are. You can't screw this up. Read this. Don't read this." He was like, "Tell them this is what you got to know." That's respecting the source material. If you're a fan, that's great. Like Henry Cavill, apparently he's
big into The Witcher, right?
He's real big into The Witcher, 40K, and I've heard, from what I understand, he is heading up a 40K TV show for Amazon, and he's like the overseer. He's a showrunner, and he's got some sort of rule where it's like if you're wrong about the lore more than like 3 times, he kicks you out. Like, okay, wow. He's a real stickler for that.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's great. Yeah.
These shows are neat. I guess the magic of like being at some of these shows is kind of worn off because that's what I do for my business now.
Yeah.
So if you just go there and you're like, hey, whatever. But Chinatown's never going to wear out. That's an annual like pilgrimage for me. That's like, how much longer before we get to go eat dim sum?
So do you like go a day early, or
We have to go like move in and set up, but
Yeah.
that first day will be done in time. And again, this is like right around the corner from the hotel. We stay at the same place every time.
Okay.
So we literally just walk up the block and be like, ta-da, here we are.
because I know there's shows you're usually there crack at dawn to the setting of the sun.
Yeah, and unfortunately, some showrunners will do like, let's stay open till 8. And like, there's
Right.
absolutely no reason for a vendor hall to stay open till 8 o'clock. It's like, just close it at 5 or 6. People will still do the shopping that they want to do.
Yeah.
And let the rest of us go home. The sales that you'll make in the last like hour and a half at a place like that is just, you might end up making some big sale if somebody's been waiting around all day or something, but those people would have come back at 5 if they were going to come back at 7.
It would be interesting to see if there's any kind of detrimental effect for that, because I know as a person, who would go and browse, I could see myself thinking, well, they're going to be open till 8, so I'm not going to buy this now.
Yeah.
It's 2 o'clock. I got plenty of time.
Yeah. Then you go get into a panel and you get to talking with people and you
Yeah.
go, hey, let's go and do this, and then you never go back.
Right, exactly. I could see that being counterproductive.
Yeah, I think I definitely foresee we need a Appalachian Dim Sum Chinatown edition sometime. We'll have to work on that.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's it for our desserts.
Yes.
And I am very glad that we reorganized the slides, because if that slide for the Chinatown had been at the very beginning, I would have been just sitting there hungry the entire time.
I looked at it last night
crazy.
when I was getting the pictures, and then I spent like 35 minutes online looking at food.
That's right.
I'm old. I don't need any like adult sites. Just
Just gives you food.
give me menus, and I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah, I think people get in trouble with that where they start watching like Gordon Ramsay and food prep shows.
I've never watched food shows. We watch Paula Deen do stuff, and it literally will send us into like we got to go out and buy something and cook that.
Yeah. I get in trouble with like on YouTube, because I guess I pause too long and watch people when they're like making a dish, where just like my feed now is just, it's like people making dishes and then people like in the corner commenting on them making dishes. And I have on my bookmarks, I have one of them that's recipes, and I've just filled that thing up.
Just subscribe to Paula Deen.
Yeah,
Everything
exactly.
you need is there.
Yeah. Right.
She is the, not the alpha and the omega, but whatever that is in the cooking world. She's one of them.
All right. So our next episode will be our coffee service,
Yes.
and that's going to be Matrix adjacent films.
Yes.
Right. So we're gonna go over some films that the internet said it relates to the Matrix. That's kind of,
And justifiably so.
yeah, some of them.
The world that they were created out of
Yeah.
definitely all came from the same place, I think. So
All right. Well, that's it for episode 51 of Appalachian Dim Sum.
yeah.
Yeah. It's been fun, Joel. I'm actually looking forward to some films. I wouldn't have said that 3 days ago before I started looking at stuff, but I am actually looking forward to these films and shows.
How the trailers go is, if you dig long enough and get through the Devil Wears Prada Part 2 and the other stuff that they're, it's like, why are y'all making this kind of stuff? You can find a few, and that's all we found. But a few's better than none. So,
well,
maybe that'll be another tagline for our show. We found something.
We found something. That's going to probably be the episode name. We found something.
We found something.
All right. Well, thanks, Joel. It's been fun.
Later.